Welcome back. I have Jeff Parker here. Welcome. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Lincoln's birthday.
Yes, and then Monday is a holiday for a lot of people.
The actual president's holiday.
That's
yes.
right, the president's holiday.
Combining both Lincoln and Washington. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, good. Well, we've got a 3-day weekend ahead of us, so what kind of information do you have for us today regarding not only COVID numbers, but the vaccination distribution program?
All right, we'll start with COVID numbers. They, again, in the hospitalization, one things that we really focus on, the trend is still going down, which is great. Under 1,000, 965 in the hospitalized, and we broke that 300 number. Now we're down to 298 with cases currently in the ICU. Last week we were at 360, so we're seeing a good trend in that. Unfortunately, 42 fatalities reported. And the interesting thing there is we've talked about is that was a pretty good split there between, unfortunately, residents that live in normal housing versus skilled nursing and assisted living. They were at 16 if you add those two up. So it's impacting people that have been in ICUs for quite a long time. And that's what is being reported, that people, unfortunately, that are passing away have been in that ICU environment for quite a while.
Right.
The COVID cases, there was a little bit of an uptick. We were at 500s and then 600, so we did see a little uptick yesterday, going to 779. I don't know if that's anything to be too worried about because we were trending in the right direction. We'll see that on the next slide when we look at our percentages. But I think we're going in the right direction. Again, like I said, with regards to the active participation by our residents out there. With regards to the village itself, we we're at 300, and when I say the village, I'm talking about, again, the Laguna Woods, it's the whole city. We're at 378 cases, so again, a little bit of an uptick from last Friday when we talked. And then 27 people have passed away, which is the same number that we had before.
Well, that's encouraging.
So we haven't seen any
not
additional.
Good, but encouraging that it's not higher.
Well, exactly. So again, I think the important thing is with regards to the hospitalization, that trend's going in the right direction. The cases are going in the right direction. So it's just a matter of continuation. As you can see there, we're now at 29.7%. A week ago when we talked on the second or the third or whatever, the beginning of that week, we had a 46.6 reporting in that category. Then we went down to 39, and now we're down to 29.
Good.
And that positivity rate is at 9.4. It was at 12.9. Had dropped down to 10, and now it's below 10 at 9.4. So we're clearly going in the right direction with regards to the number of cases that are showing up and the positivity rate. So,
wow, we just might hit that red level.
Yeah, if we can keep going. I mean, we got ways to go on the rates, but the positivity rate's pretty good. So again, keep our fingers crossed, and thank you to all the residents out there in the communities that are being careful and socially distancing, wearing the mask.
Right.
You know, more reports coming out about double masking, and that potentially can help too. All I can suggest is, just make sure you're wearing the mask as much as possible and protecting yourself. So that's really what comes down to.
Right, and there's a lot of things that have opened up. I mean, there's lots of restaurants that are now, some of them are doing indoor dining. So if you choose to do that, keep that mask on, like you said. I mean, they pretty much require it anyway. You have to put the mask on before you sit down, and then once you sit down, you can take it off, and that seems to be the way it works. And most of them are still masked in terms of servers and things like that.
Absolutely.
So they all just, they want to get back to business because the poor things have been suffering so much in the economy. So if you do choose to do that, you always have to follow the rules.
And that's the same thing here. We're starting to, get into more evaluation of our operations, and is there something that we can change, and how soon can we change that? Making sure that we not only protect the residents who could potentially be engaged with us, but also making sure that our employees are protected. And that's the challenge with regards to opening up any of our facilities, making sure we have that balance. And certainly we've had a lot of dialogue about that recently, and we're going to continue to have dialogue about that and try to look at options so that we can provide better service to the community.
Great. great, good information. All right, so the distribution, vaccine distribution program is today only, Friday. So tell me about how that transpired.
So as we've talked before, we usually hear from Orange County Healthcare on Tuesday or Wednesday with whether we're going to get an additional allocation. Unfortunately, on Wednesday, we got notified that our big allotment that we usually look for, a Saturday, Sunday operation, we were not going to receive this week, just this week.
Right.
And that's the emphasis I want to say, just this week.
Just this week. Mm-hmm.
And so we have our allotment for Friday, which is today, and we're implementing that. We're in operation down there from 9:30 to 4:30, and we're going to get, we have about 1,000, just under 1,000 vaccines that we'll be implementing. So we contacted people that had appointments on Saturday had already received an email on that. So we recontacted them and said, here's your new appointment for today.
Okay.
And we're going to basically try to shove everybody from Saturday into Friday, along with, we started today, our outbound operations, where we're going into residents who can't get here, physically can't get there. They're bedridden or something like that. They just had an operation or that type of activity. And we started that, we're starting that today and getting those first shots out to those people, which I think is magnificent. It's probably the only place in the county, and maybe the only place in the state that's really doing such an activity like that. Now we're fortunate, we're smaller in size, but at the same time it's a real incredible outreach by our partnership with Memorial Care to get doctors that can do that, to get practitioners in the health that can observe the people and make sure that that's all being done appropriately and meeting all the conditions. So we're real excited about that, and it's just something that, again, to bring to our community and to our residents. And so combination of that and our operation today, we hope we can get to that number where we've got just about everybody vaccinated in that 65 and over category. Now, we know that there's a number of people that have gone through the Othina and gone to SoCa, and we still want to encourage you, if you can't get an appointment here, please do it that way. And then starting in the weeks coming, we'll be doing the second vaccine.
Right.
And there is nothing, I want to make sure, nothing we have been told that we're not going to get that vaccine.
Right.
So that's in line, and we'll be setting up that in the future weekends.
Right, and you know, we're always at the mercy of the Orange County Healthcare Agency. So it's, I mean, you know, there's a lot of people trying to get the doses, and so the fact that we have any, which is remarkable, and it's really great. So good thing that we were able to secure enough to do everybody today.
Right.
And then at what point will you think you'll know when they'll get the second doses or the doses for the second time?
We'll hear that on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Generally it's Wednesday, but sometimes it's Tuesday. The first case, you know, was late as Thursday, unfortunately. So that we like to get it as soon as we can, Tuesday, Wednesday, so we can get all the notifications out and make sure everybody has their appointments come back in.
Okay. So then next weekend, it will only be the second doses, is that correct?
We're starting on that to get the second doses. Now, if we have an additional dosages, we may be able to facilitate getting first dosage as well, but we're really focusing then moving forward towards the second dose.
Well, there's a lot of people that get the second dose, that's for sure, because you've been so good at doing the first one for the last 3-4 weeks.
We got over 7,600 people vaccinated, so that's pretty amazing.
That is pretty amazing. All right, well, wonderful. Well, thank you so much. Anything else?
No, everything's status quo with regards to our operations. A little wet, and we slowed down a little bit on some of our outside activities, but no, we move.
Riding those bikes in the rain is probably not a good idea. Or Zumba in the rain, I guess you could do that. But all right, well, good. Thank you. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Exactly.
All right, thanks. And remember that if you had an appointment for tomorrow, Saturday, you will be contacted to be able to be moved to today. And if you have any additional questions, you can always contact the hotline. We'll be right back.